with reporters. But first, here's what else is making news on this Wednesday. Police are looking for a suspect in a shooting on Madison's east side, one that is upsetting people in the neighborhood.
The hearing for the president's Supreme Court nominee is still on for tomorrow, even as a third person comes forward saying she was a victim as well.
And after another day at the United Nations, the president will be meeting with reporters, as we mentioned. That will be happening momentarily. Lots coming up in this next hour. So, as we say, we're coming on early. President Trump is about to hold that
3 days at the United Nations in New York.
It is only the fourth solo news conference he has ever held as president.
Wow.
Let's join in right now.
It's a lot of people. Steve, go ahead.
You've been watching live coverage of the President Trump's only fourth news conference since he has taken office in almost 2 years. And it's very lively.
Lively is a very good word to describe this.
And we will have highlights on News 3 at 5 and, of course, on the CBS Evening News coming up. But first, coming up here at 4, we're going to catch up on the rest of today's news. The shooting on the east side, the governor asks a legislator to resign.
And we have a sneak peek of Madison's newest music venue. That is when Live at 4 continues. Madison police are searching for the person who shot a teenager near La Follette High School and Senate Middle School.
The shooting prompted a lockdown at the schools, and as neighbors saying enough is enough, our Keely Arthur was first on the scene this morning and has the latest details on the case. Keely.
Well, Mark, you can see here police still on the scene tonight. Neighbors here saying they're shocked, horrified, but not surprised by what happened this morning. At around 10:40 a.m., police were called to Linda Vista Road and Turner Avenue for reports of a fight. When they got there, they found a teenager shot. Now, that 16-year-old will be okay, according to police, but a very frustrated neighbor we spoke to says this is far from an isolated incident. She says there is a daily, quote, fight club taking place near La Follette High School, and it's only getting worse.
The quiet neighborhood of retirees. We're not happy about this at all. We spent a lot of money on brand new sidewalks and stop sign, and something like this devalues our neighborhood because it becomes a dangerous neighborhood when you got fight club and gunshots ringing out.
And today's shooting concerning for residents and parents of students alike. Coming up on News 3 at 5 and 6, we're going to hear from Rose Schmidt and more about that lockdown today. Also, more details on the investigation, Mark, in Charlotte, as that shooter is still at large tonight.
Keely Arthur reporting live for us from the east side of Madison. Thank you.
Governor Walker is calling for a Republican state lawmaker who made racist and sexual remarks to 3 female legislators following a GOP caucus this summer to resign. Walker tweeted the call for Assistant Republican Majority Leader Rob Brooks of Saukville to resign. Brooks apologized, saying he made stupid comments while under the influence of alcohol.
The Federal Reserve announced its 3rd interest rate hike this year. It's the 8th increase since the late 2015 and would be designed to prevent the strong economy from overheating. It may signal that the feds expect trade tensions to cause long-term damage to the United States. And that was unwelcome news on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials dropped almost 107 points to close at 26,385. The NASDAQ Composite Index fell 17 and the S&P 500 lost 9.5.
Tomorrow night, the doors open on the Sylvie, Madison's new 2,500 capacity music venue along East Washington Avenue. It's mostly standing only, but there is a VIP lounge and 3rd floor suites. The Sylvie will host artists from all musical genres to appeal to the wide array of taste in Madison. And no matter where you are inside the Sylvie, you should get a pretty good view of the stage.
That's exciting.
It is.
New music venue.
We've been waiting
Yes,
for
we
this
have.
for a long time.
All right. We'll have more live at 4 right after this. Well, take a look at this. In a garage in Sydney, Australia, the handiwork of a full-time Lego builder and his team takes shape. It took 20 weeks, 16 volunteers, and no shortage of Lego bricks to create the largest caravan trailer ever built with the miniature bricks, 280,000 of them. This masterpiece even has electricity, running water, a functioning kitchen and bed, though the builder admits the Lego bed is not too comfortable.
Really?
The project cost more than $100,000. A real trailer like this cost about $2,000. That is just incredible, isn't it?
That's one word for it. Huge waste of time. Another phrase.
100,000 grand?
I mean,
No, thank you.
Yeah,
I'll take the
I'm gonna
$2,000
pass, too.
model, huh?
Exactly.
It'll be a good day to go camping.
Yeah, for ballers on a budget or really anyone else out there, we're looking pretty fall-like and pretty nice. Temperatures stay chilly throughout the rest of the week. We'll talk about some fall color that could be coming pretty soon in your First Alert forecast. Good afternoon. Hopefully you're having a nice fall Wednesday outside with temperatures definitely chillier than yesterday when we had that severe weather roll through. Doppler track is quiet. We do have some light showers well to the north of southern Wisconsin. Plenty of sunshine, but also some of those fair weather clouds in downtown Madison. The almanac today, high of 63, about 5 degrees below normal for this time of year. 64 in Mineral Point, 65 in Boscobel, 63 in Watertown, and 61 right now in Juneau. High temperatures are really staying chilly, especially over the next couple of days. We'll be in the upper 50s Friday and Saturday. If we have 2 days of 50-degree temperatures, that will be the first time since the middle of April. It's been a while. Then temperatures do get a little bit warmer, but low temperatures are staying pretty consistently in the 40s and 50s, except for Saturday. We could see some patchy frost. Now, the earliest first frost was way back in September 12th, 1955. Our average first frost, though, is the 11th of October. Now, our fall color report starting to see a little bit more orange and yellow on this map, but I do think that the peak of fall color across southern Wisconsin will be somewhere in the mid to late October range. It's going to be later than last year because of our warm and wet summer, and September as well. But for southern Wisconsin, we're looking somewhere in the range of October 15th to the 29th, so the second half of this month. Tonight, mostly clear and cool with temperatures in the 40s. As we head into tomorrow, becoming mostly cloudy and breezy with temperatures in the mid 60s. So we could see a few showers as we head into later on Thursday, but we should start mostly clear. I think the first round of showers will stay to the north of us. As we head into the evening hours, though, a couple more nuisance showers could come our way. Similar story as we head into Friday as well. Another round of showers could be with us. So these cooler temperatures and rounds of showers look to be sticking around for the next couple of days. I do think we'll be dry on Saturday, even with some sunshine. Temperatures only getting into the mid 50s. Then we're bouncing around from the 60s and 70s into next week. Could have some showers and thunderstorms as well, but more cool days than warm days going forward, it looks like.
Still 70s, a couple.
Yeah,
Couple
at least
of
we
them,
got that
but
going for us.
more often than not.
Yeah, we're getting there. It's October.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Well, you probably know someone who could be described as a supermom.
But what if the expectations on moms and moms-to-be placed by society are too great or simply unrealistic? Dr. Christine Whalen, a professor at UW School of Human Ecology, is here to talk about this.
Welcome back.
Good to be back.
So let's talk about being mom, shall we?
Absolutely. So we see all these images of moms who are in labor on the runway, who are breastfeeding their
what
babies.
is up with that?
Well, on the one hand, they're doing their jobs just like we do, right? I mean, I delivered a book on one day and a baby on the next day when I delivered my last child. So all of us are trying to maximize our efficiency, right? And to do both. But wow, society is putting a lot of pressure on moms these days.
Is it unrealistic expectation for women?
I think so. You know, Throughout history, women have worked right up until they are delivering. And in fact, many women would deliver out on the fields as they worked. But now we have to look sexy while we're doing it too. And that I think is kind of an unreasonable expectation. I mean, it's superpower enough to be able to grow a human being.
I agree.
Do I have to look awesome all
I
the
am
time?
going to play devil's advocate on this. Is it us women who are placing this on ourselves to prove to society that, hey, just because we're pregnant doesn't mean that we're less than or we're not capable and we can look just as good as the skinny 22-year-old.
Sure,
You know?
sure. But also we have most companies who are not able to offer maternity leave, right? There's no maternity leave in the United States as a federal law, right? So we have women who have a financial imperative that they need to work right up until they deliver and then get back to work as fast as possible. So, you know, we have a sort of a structural idea that, yes, we'd like to look glamorous doing everything, but we also have a long way to go in terms of allowing women the health and the space to grow human life.
Right. I mean, you're right. Some women have to work right up to the end.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, more and more we're seeing in Europe that women are encouraged not to, and that we are now seeing the data that suggests that taking a little bit more time, especially during that last trimester, is good for the mother and the baby. You know, our brains exist in a body. This is something that's deeply inconvenient for a lot of us.
I remember my last day here when I was pregnant with my second. I worked the morning show and I was a day overdue and I went into labor, but it was also Gio's birthday. I still baked the cake. I got his haircut. We had the birthday party.
Absolutely.
Then we met the physical therapist at the hospital. I'm like, here you go. I'm gonna go have my baby now.
Exactly.
And it's like,
boom, boom, boom.
didn't have a
you have
choice.
to.
Yes.
No.
I remember hitting submit on my book manuscript and I said, all right, now I'm ready to go and deliver a baby.
It shouldn't have to be like that.
It should not. But the idea that these models on the runway also have to look beautiful while doing it, that I think is potentially the bridge too far.
Is that maybe just a gimmick?
It might have been, and she did get a lot of press for it, and it's wonderful to have positive attitudes about breastfeeding, and to certainly to see these beautiful women breastfeeding their newborn babies in public, I think is a really body positive image for all of us. As long as it doesn't put another layer of supermom that we have to be fabulous all the time in every realm.
We already have our capes. We don't need any more.
Absolutely.
All right.
All moms are super.
Why, thank you.
Thank
Christine,
you.
thanks for being with us
Good
today.
to be
Good to see
back.
you.
Yeah, thanks.
We'll be right back. Welcome back.
In today's Final Touch, when Irishman Michael Kopp was a boy, he loved making model planes.
60 years later,